myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I.
You are listening to another exciting episode of Me, Myself, and I, episode Noventa, Siete, 97 episodes, ladies and gentlemen. We are here right now on episode 97, getting closer to 100. Do I have something planned? No, I don't. Am I worried about it? No, I'm not. Because I'm focused on this episode. 97. Okay, I got to keep it down. I'm not in my studio. I am on the road, and I am now in Coos Bay, Oregon. Yes. On Saturday, I was in Salem, Oregon. I performed at an amazing... This is where I performed at. I performed at the Northern Lights Theater in Salem, Oregon. Now, just from that title alone, I thought it was going to be the Northern Lights Theater, like a community theater. I went there. It was actually a movie theater. I performed at a movie theater. It was awesome. I had a great time. I was right after Star Wars. It was awesome. I had to follow Star Wars. Are you kidding me? How can a comic follow Star Wars? That's insane. But I did it. Had a good time. First show was amazing. Second show, well, it's second show. It is second show, and for second show, that's what made Steve Martin quit stand-up comedy, because he said second show Friday nights, and I get it, because second show shows you the real nature of the beast of the show, of the city, you know, the underlingings of it. Anyways. But I'm over here now, and I was in Everett, Washington on Sunday. Amazing people, very nice, very, very nice people. They were so nice that they really were tight. Like, they would felt embarrassed of laughing. That's how nice they were. Like, well, I can't laugh at that. They just held back, which is fine. It's great. And I've worked with some amazing comedians up here in Oregon and Washington. I tell you what, these comics are phenomenal, and I'm so glad they're doing well, and I'm so glad they're strong comics, because it's good to follow strong comics as a headliner. You need to follow. Whenever you're headlining, you need to make sure everyone before you is a strong comic, because you need to step up your game. And I'm always improving, and I'm doing my best to improve myself with this, and I'm so glad. So thank you, comics. And then I stopped in Coos Bay, Oregon. I'm performing tomorrow night, Wednesday, at the Mill Casino. I'm over here at my friend's house. He allowed me to stay at his house. He lives in the trailer with his beautiful girlfriend, and his family lets me stay here. And it's been like an ongoing thing, because me and a couple comics that have known him throughout the years, he allowed us to... You know, we built a good friendship and good relationship with everybody. He introduced me to the community, and I've started to know people here in Coos Bay, and I truly love performing here in Coos Bay. I really do. It's a lot of fun, and there's something great about, you know what, I'm not doing any justice right now. I tell you that. I'm not doing any justice right now staying here. I'm going to show you. I got to walk outside. I want you guys to hear Coos Bay. This is awesome. Huh? You hear it? What's that? What's that noise? Birds chirping. Leaves crackling. It's wind. It's gorgeous out here, though. It's windy, but it's gorgeous out here. Okay. I'm probably about a mile from this gorgeous bay, because it's Coos Bay, and there's ships, there's logs. It's a big logging community. There's logs getting transferred on the ship, and they're going to send it down the bay to other towns. And there's tugboats. There's that pinning sound. There's wind. It's really gorgeous out here, and this place gets great sun. I've always said that. I was like, this place gets amazing sun because you don't see any skyscrapers. You don't see any large buildings. You know what you don't see I could probably see a mile to my left and a mile to my right now. And you know what I don't see? I don't see KFC. I don't see Chipotle. I don't see... What else? Excuse me. Sorry. The wind. I don't see Chipotle. You might see McDonald's, but it's usually mom and pop stuff. I just saw a little charter single engine Cessna plane just fly over. And then you hear this, and then you just see birds fly. Sometimes whales come through the bay and they turn around, and this is where I'm going to be performing at. You know, this is where I've been performing at for many years. And I truly love coming over here. It's a lot of fun. I see a little Coast Guard boat going by. But enough about me. I got a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. I got he's a good friend of mine. He allows me to stay here, so I'm going to set up shop, and he's going to talk more about Coos Bay, because Coos Bay deserves the attention. It's a great place. It's hard to make a living here, but the view and everything and describe about it. So I'm going to take a minute, and then we're going to come right back, and I'm going to interview Bill Simon, the voice of Coos Bay, Oregon. All right. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm now in Bill's trailer with his wonderful girlfriend. And where is she? Where's Lori?
Lori had to take off.
She took off?
She's got stuff she's got to do.
She's awesome.
She's a mover and a shaker. She's got to keep me in, comfort. So she's got to go tend to. Just kidding.
Don't be rude to her.
No. She's awesome. She babies me.
She's wonderful.
She babies me. She's ridiculously kind.
She's a wonderful human being.
Yes.
So, first of all, Bill, I was talking to the MMIkers. First of all, welcome to the Me, Mike, Self, and I podcast. You're in the interview section right now.
Thank you very much.
And I thank you for being here.
You bet.
Have you been listening to my podcast?
Yes, I've got to pick up a few. Yeah.
I know it's a lot. It's a lot. Like a lot. I always throw you videos. Look at me. 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 Like, dude, Mike, I have a life. Okay, I can't watch you all the time. But I'm glad you're on the show right now.
I'm excited.
So I'm very happy, folks. Bill Simon has. I met Bill through a friend of his. His friend came to a comedy show. How many years ago?
About 10 years ago. 11 years ago.
About 10 years ago. And he said that you wanted to do stand-up, and I gave you some advice. And what's one of the advice that I told you to do?
You gave me a lot of good advice, and then you also threw me to the wolves a couple of times. Like, I think the biggest test was sending me for like my third open mic to a touch of class in Sacramento, not knowing what I was getting into.
Now, folks, if you don't know what touch of class is, it's a wonderful black room. Okay, people say, "Oh, it's an urban room." No, it's a black room. Okay, it's a black room. I love that room. It's a great room, and you can hit really hard or you can miss really hard. Either way, they're gonna respond to whatever you're delivering. And this white boy from Coos Bay, from Northern Oregon, Coos Bay, come on down to touch of class.
I knew I was in for something when the MC said, "Don't worry about the white guy in the back. He's not a cop." I was like, "Oh."
That's funny. That's funny. But what's cool about Bill? You're a professor now.
Yeah, I'm a part-time professor at a community college, so
Right.
it's not that
And
impressive.
but what are you teaching now?
Right now, I'm going to teach psychology of humor, human lifespan, just psychology 100, which is a general intro. But the psychology of humor is what kind of got me into it because, no problem. The head of the department out there was a real comedy fan, and she always thought it was kind of an interesting subject to explore. And so she
Right.
really built the class and let me kind of help her, and then she kind of handed it off to me once I finished my schooling and got my master's. So it's
Nice.
been really fun. It's been a neat experience.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been cool.
It's cool. So stand up got you into
Yeah, they
being
got
a
me a
professor.
gig as a professor.
As a
Yeah,
professor.
exactly. It's pretty weird.
That's
Yeah, it doesn't go
hilarious.
that way usually. So.
That's funny. So I folks, I reason why I wanted to interview Bill because Bill is born and raised here in Coos Bay. Every time I come up here, every time Mark Yaffe comes up here, comedian Mark Yaffe, we love this place.
It has a lot to offer.
We have a so as I was walking around your property and describing it, I barely touched the surface because I rather hear it from someone that was born here that has a feeling here. So why don't you talk about this scenery right here that we're looking out from us right now, live from Coos Bay? Why don't you talk about what we see and the history behind this wonderful city?
So this is the bay side of it. If you look at it, we're kind of technically on a peninsula right here. Most of Coos Bay and North Bend is, and it wraps back around there, and all the mountains you're seeing over there are the rest of the land. So this bay goes up and is fed into by the river we took you to the last time you were here.
What was the name of that river?
It's the several feet in here, but the Coos, the Umpqua,
Is
the
that where it
Allegheny.
threw up
Yeah,
because
where
of-
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, talk.
So we last time Mike was here, my mom is really freaked out about sushi, and she's a really caring, loving person, and she's scared of sushi because she thinks it's all raw and we're all gonna get sick or mercury poisoning. So we last time Mike was here, he wanted to go up the river, so we took him up the river, and the road is really windy up there, and we were moving pretty good to kind of get up there. And he ended up getting sick from the road, being road sick. And then we came back, and my mom said, my son Judah, who just kind of says what's on his mind, was talking to my mom and said, well, we had to come back because Mike got sick. And she said, oh, was it bad sushi? And Judah goes, no, I think it's the tequila he and Dad had at lunch,
Yeah.
which totally outed us.
But it was a big bottle of tequila.
It was weird.
But still, I'm a Navy guy.
Yeah.
And I got sick on the road. How
But it's
pathetic.
it's the road, dude. It's brutal. It's like
It is brutal, dude.
it follows that
Dude,
river.
those
and
switchbacks are no
they,
joke.
they are, and that's where we learned to drive. So people think we're kind of crazy, but that's when you were going up into the woods, that's
Right.
where your dad would
Right.
teach you to drive. So we kind of grew up on that stuff, and yeah. But
That's hilarious.
they're narrow. I'll tell you where they're real narrow is when you've got the log trucks running pretty heavy because
Oh my
they take
God.
their half out of the middle, and so you got to
Dude,
be
they
watching
do
that.
not mess around.
Yeah.
And you got hundreds of logs
Yeah.
on there, man.
It's,
Crazy.
well, that's the thing. As you look out here at the bay, like I say, and then the ocean's over here on the other side. And when I was a kid, even in the 80s, you would have ships like this one you can see out here that's getting loaded. These are nothing. These trees are nothing compared to what we used to have with the old growth. And you would have ships lined up all along here, Mike, that would work all the way around, all the way down there to Coos Bay, where the candy shop and stuff that we went to last time, waiting to get filled up and go out. And until the 80s, we were the world's largest lumber export, not San Francisco or Seattle, but little old Coos Bay, because we just had such a great bay for it to get out, and then so many logs
So
naturally
you were
here.
just producing more logs
There were so
because
many
it was
more
easier
logs.
to get out?
Well, there were and there were so many logs so close to us. See,
Right.
and then of course, then I don't know if you ever remember hearing about the spotted owl down there, but that was kind of one of
Right.
the things that really started hindering logging. Is people started caring more about the environment than they did about the logs, which I think there needs to be a balance.
Right.
You go to Europe now and they don't have telephone poles, they have concrete everywhere, and that's because they ran out of trees a long time ago. So I'm glad we're trying to balance it, but it is amazing that just in my 30 years how it's dwindled. It's
Right.
gone. I mean, the mill casino was a working mill where Lori's dad and brothers worked at for years, and so did many people, and they turned it into a casino. I mean, that really was where we used to produce tons of lumber, and so there just aren't those jobs
So
anymore.
lumber was your base source of income.
It was number one, and then fishing was two, and of course, you know what's happened with fishing all over the world. It's
Right.
changed.
So you get a lot of fishermen's boats coming through here?
Okay, so in the fall when the salmon run, The most we've ever counted is 109 boats from out this window when they're doing like the derbies and stuff, and
Really?
the salmon are that rich, and it's just so fun. And then we were at the casino, which you can just about see from here, last year, and it was really cool. A killer whale came right into the bay and looped around and went right out. Right, we were right there when we
How
were
big
eating
was
at the
that
mill.
whale?
Oh, it was a good size, and I guess it comes back every year. They have it doesn't have the pod, and it comes back every year. But we just have some.
Does it have a name for it?
I forget what they call it now.
Does it have a name for it?
I forget what they call them now, but
Okay.
like the lone whale or something. It's
Okay.
kind of a nickname. It's kind of fun. Comes
That's
in every
cool.
spring. Yeah.
Wow!
So,
Every spring, you
yeah,
gotta
he comes in.
it's a female, right?
It's I don't know that. We just know it's not with its pod, and somebody down there that had seen it before said that that's what they do is they follow their normal patterns even if they've lost their pod or whatever. So it's kind of interesting. So
That's nice.
yeah, it's
So,
kinda neat.
but it's a beautiful town.
It is.
It
It's-
really, you know what it is, and this is not an insulting way. This beautiful town has a very 80s feel to it.
Yeah, yeah. We almost got
Every-
trapped there.
But it's a great 80s, it's Goonies never grew up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good description. In fact, we have a pretty popular bar here called Goonies. So.
Oh, really? Well, you took.
I'll have to take
what
you
bar
there
did we go
later.
to- what bar did we go to yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, we went to a Coos County standard, the Blue Moon.
Yeah, that was fun. There's this one guy that was giving me shit. He's like, hey, you and that CCS guy over there.
That's right.
I'm like, what the hell is CCS? California cocksucker. I was like, that's pretty good.
But he was an Army guy, so
No, I
what do you
get it.
expect?
No, I get it. I get it. He, what I say, he looked like an out of shape Matthew Fox.
You'd actually
He ate
love it.
Party of Five.
Nice. Oh, okay. That's funny.
So what more can you tell about this one rich town that you? So why are people still here then? If it's
I
the
think
economy is.
Yeah, the economy has definitely gone down, because of the fishing and the logging. But you have a lot of like 3 and 4 generation logging and fishermen. There are still people out there that make it, but I mean they're hustling. They're not. It's not like it used to be, where you just fell into money because there was so much demand and you didn't have the environmental stuff and all that. But there are still people that have been here 3 and 4 years and still. Built up trucking firms that they've been able to adapt and offer trucking services to other places. But yeah, what we've really become a service, oriented place and kind of a place for retirees from the, those freaking California cocksuckers that come up here and just kidding. No, but no, it's become really a Geritol kind of in a service industry, and then of course we have a few professionals. So I think it will always have its place, but it's definitely a place for people to come and kind of slow down. A lot of retirees love it.
How long has the city been around?
I know. I don't know the exact charter. Now, this whole area originally was called Marshfield because we literally were just, kind of marsh. And
Right.
So, and then it split into Coos Bay and North Bend. And I know that the high schools, we have the world's oldest, we have the world's oldest Civil War. The most times high school played in '89, it was like 125 times they played.
Okay.
So it's been around for a while, is what I'm
And
saying.
big time Ducks fan up here.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're all we don't have a pro team. See, all we have is Blazers. We don't. Our closest pro teams are either San Francisco or Seattle.
Right. No, but it's big
So-
time Duck. You don't see a lot of Beaver fans. up
No,
here.
well, it's it's kind of rough to be a Beaver fan right now.
Right.
It's pretty embarrassing.
But I became an honorary Ducks fan years ago here. You guys pretty much blessed me up here because I was a fan of the Ducks since Harrington was quarterback.
Right.
Yeah,
It's funny because a lot of the California guys, especially Northern California, kind of jumped up because Stanford and Cal were kind of down at that time,
Right.
and Oregon was taking
But
off
I never
and
left.
fun to watch.
I never left.
Yeah.
Even when the Ducks were down for a
Yep.
couple of years,
Yep.
I love and appreciate teams when they're down because all the real fans stay
Yep.
and all the shitty fans disappear, kind of like the San Francisco 49ers. I'm so glad my Niners lost.
Yeah.
100% because all the annoying fans are gone. You got to
The
see
bandwagon
The
fans,
bandwagon
yeah.
fans are gone. They're not bleeding the colors. And it's easy for the Ducks to have a huge fan base when they're doing well.
They have one of the largest, actually nationwide. It's really funny, and part of it is, people don't think about it. One of the ways that that they become so successful, of course, because of Phil Knight, and they call him Uncle Phil because he's given so much money to the university. Like, that's just a running thing. It's Uncle Phil. And he was the first to, change up uniforms and kind of make it like a fashion show. And they have, like, last count, I know it was like 325 combinations of uniforms and stuff.
Jesus.
And that's what kind of put us on the map. It was almost like we were the first ones to flash out and be flashy and have different types of uniforms for different games. Now, of course, everybody does that from a marketing perspective.
Do you think
I think that helped a lot.
So you believe that the main source of income coming through Oregon would be the Ducks?
No, I'm saying that with Phil Knight and Nike backing the Ducks financially, they've been able to do, like, really, really well.
But how does that bring growth here?
It doesn't. I don't know that it necessarily does.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's what kind of put the Ducks on the map for.
Okay.
They got flashy and
But it doesn't do
anything
anything for Coos Bay.
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here in Coos Bay, they have been working for a long time to try and bring in a pipeline.
I was just about to talk about that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I just, and I see the advantages of trying to bring in more in economy. The thing that I don't like about it is they're only going to have so many jobs here after all the building. When they come in, there's going to be, 2,000 to 4,000 professionals here to build the pipeline for 6 months or a year. And that's obviously going to help a lot on our restaurants and all of that. But the disadvantages in after 2 or 4 years when it's done, they go away, and prices usually don't come down after that kind of a boom.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. There's pros and cons to it both. The latest news apparently is that they're not coming in, so I'm just kind of waiting to see.
What are they doing right now?
So they're putting in new posts by the pier for the ships to tie up to, because for several years these weren't being used, but now they're starting to bring the ships in right there where you can see them out the window.
I just like the purity of Coos Bay.
Yeah.
It's one of the last small towns.
And it's isolated enough that it'll stay small because we're 2
Yeah.
hours off the I-5.
Yeah.
We'll never really.
You
be
won't
one
see
of
a
those.
town like this anywhere else.
Not very often, and especially with the natural beauty surrounding you. Because where else can you be 20 minutes from some of the greatest beaches, breathtaking beaches, and 20 minutes from a
I remember that
90,000
beach
acre
on
forest?
the cliff you took me to.
Yeah.
That was scary. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, you're hanging out.
Yeah. No, but you won't see this. It's such a historical town. It has a lot to offer. I'm surprised the tourist attraction wouldn't be more marketable here.
That's what I think we're growing as a community in that area, but I think that's our, personally, if I were like, not so lazy and had more energy and could get into local politics, I think that's where I would be leaning towards, is trying to grow as much as we could on the. I think we could really do. I mean, there are towns up north that are smaller and have less resources than us that are killing it with their oceanside town and Touristville. I want to see that come more here, and I think it will eventually. They're working on it. So
Yeah. Well, Bill, I can't believe I've been coming up here for almost 10 years, man. It feels like
for sure.
It's like a home away from home, man. It's really cool just to hang out here, see all the local people. Hopefully Matthew Fox comes to the show tomorrow.
It hasn't quite started drinking yet. Let's hope he hasn't quite that drunk.
No, I don't wish upon that. I hope he stays home.
Dude. He's a good
I know,
dude.
but I hope he stays home. I don't want a bottle thrown at me tomorrow. I want to enjoy Coos Bay,
Exactly.
I want to have a good time.
Exactly.
Well, Bill, I was going to move on. Do you mind fixing this?
No problem.
I was going to move on to my own personal thought on the show, but you know what? I want you to stay on because I got this thing called Good News.
Oh, awesome.
And it just talks about...
I was also going to tell you real quick, we do have some big celebrities that have come out of Coos Bay too. Like
Who?
Steve Prefontaine was a
nice.
graduate, and
Yes.
he's the one that kind of helped launch Nike with Phil Knight. And so, like, there's a big mural downtown. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's a pretty neat tribute to him, where he was at Marshfield as a kid, and then at Oregon, and then in the Olympics, and it shows his progression, and it's a pretty neat mural and something they kind of did to remember, our famous son. And the pools, the high schools, when they did those movies, the Prefontaine family really helped set up the football and the stadium and the track and all of that for the area, and they just really poured back into the community. So they've been really, really good, the Prefontaine
that's
family.
great.
His parents just passed away the last few years, and but they had a huge impact for many years after he passed.
Anybody else famous from here?
Oh, we got Mark Helfridge, who right now isn't working anywhere, but he was the head coach for the Ducks for a while, and then the offensive coordinator for the Bears. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, so it's been a pretty neat deal to get to see him rise. And then I got to go to school with a guy named Jeff Whitty, who was a Tony Award winner of a Broadway play, and just we actually, for this little town.
Well, you also got that friend that you told me about.
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
that's Jeff. Yeah, he was 20 years old and 21, and he helped write this book called Avenue Q that they wrote into a Broadway play, and it ran on Broadway for like 15 years.
Wow.
He's got to travel the world, and he's written some other plays, and he was just up for an Oscar for a movie that Melissa McCarthy was in, this last one that she did. He got to go to the Oscars as a nominee for the screenplay for this film. It was a serious role for her, but I didn't see the movie yet. But yeah, he was up for that.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
cool,
really
man.
neat. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
I want to give him a hard time though, because he got the Tony, and he's running out of time to get the EGOT. He's got to hurry it up if he's going to get his Emmy and his Gold Globe and his Oscar. I was expecting the Oscar there, so just kidding.
Man, this place is such a hidden gem. So I'm glad to be a part of this hidden gem. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. But now, before I move on with that, it's time for some good news.
Okay.
So, all right, it is time for good news. It is time for good news. That's right. I am sick and tired of all the bad stuff that you see on TV, you hear on the radio, you see on all the social media platforms. It's bad news this, this and that, deaths, destructions. I'm sick and tired of seeing it all and hearing it all. At this portion of the show, it is time for some good news. And the good news is this. A Russian 9-year-old boy paints stunning portraits in exchange for donations to local animal shelters. There's this kid, he's 9 years old, painting these wonderful, beautiful masterpieces. He's taking his time. I mean, he looks like the next Van Gogh. I mean, his paintings, look, see, Bill?
Wow.
Look at that.
Those are amazing.
Yeah. He paints all these paintings and they make a ton of money, and he gives all the money to local animal shelters. So he's doing all this art for free.
At 9.
At 9 years old. He's making these portraits. Please, sir, this exchange is for the puppies. Please, look at this masterpiece that I made for you, for my puppies. This is what is important here.
He's probably eating potatoes while doing that.
Grits, just sloth. I eat the sloth. My dog will have gourmet meal. Give him something. He loves the meat. Come here, Nikolai. Sit good, Bobby. You want a home? I paint you. Now the world will know your name, Nikolai the dog. We will know Nikolai forever. I paint a picture for him, and everyone will see where he goes. Okay, Nikolai. Be for Nikolai, please. All right. I don't take no money. I bet you his mom is like, dude, take the goddamn
10%.
money.
Yeah, let's 10%.
We got
here.
mortgages to pay. At least $500
Exactly.
to pay. No money for family. No money for family. None whatsoever. It's for the dogs. Maybe some kitty cats, pussies. I can't say I'm 9 years old. I can't say that. And that today is your good news. All right, Bill, we're going to take off. Bill, first of all, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely, the snowball.
Thank you, Coos Bay. And again, you guys are listening to this right now. Tomorrow night, if you're listening to this tomorrow, Wednesday night, I'm headlining Mills Casino. Come on out, Coos Bay. We're going to have fun. And then also Friday the 13th, I'll be at Chadwick's in Medford. Saturday the 14th, I'll be at Chadwick's in Medford. 2 nights there. But Coos Bay, come on out. We're going to have a good time. And also, folks, please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. Tell all your friends to subscribe. And Bill, are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready to salsa?
I am ready for the salsa.
Do you know what salsa is? You ready?
No,
okay.
what is the salsa?
Fingers like this. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Snap. salsa, 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 salsa. Keep going. Salsa, 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 salsa. Hey.